In this video, we will answer two questions. What is Model United Nations, or MUN, and why is it worthwhile? After over 50 million people died in World War II, the United Nations, or the UN, was created to try to avoid yet another war by bringing nations together in one organization. The founders wrote the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a document that sets out every human being's fundamental rights and freedoms. They established a Security Council, a small group of countries that convene whenever necessary to maintain international peace and admit new countries to the UN. They founded the World Health and Trade Organizations, and they agreed that every year they would meet in New York City at a General Assembly to discuss important issues and develop UN policy. After its founding, the UN added many different countries. Today, there are 193 member states. In addition to its members, the UN also has added and expanded the original aims to include sustainable global development, especially that of less economically developed countries. At its most basic level, Model United Nations, or MUN, is a group of students that meet to try to simulate the UN by writing a document or a resolution to address a global problem. Many participate during secondary school and in university. There are, however, many MUN conferences that have hundreds or even thousands of participants. In these conferences, there are different groups of students that meet in separate forums, committees, and councils. The first MUN conference was founded by university students in the United States. Since then, MUN has spread globally, and there are now thousands of conferences, such as the one that you see on this sweatshirt, BERMUN, or Berlin Model United Nations. MUN participants simulate the UN in at least 5 important ways. They represent real UN countries, they meet and discuss issues that are debated at the UN, they simulate real organs of the UN, especially the General Assembly and the Security Council, they debate with a formal procedure, and they act and dress professionally. Not like this. Nonetheless, because it's a simulation, and because so many people do it globally, there are many things about MUN that are different from the actual UN. Here are 2 important differences. Number 1, different topics. Sometimes issues are debated in MUN that would never be debated in the UN. For example, although some MUN conferences might discuss the sovereignty of Taiwan, this issue would not be discussed at the real UN. Number 2, different debate procedures. MUN also uses different debate procedures. Oftentimes, these are based on parliamentary procedure, which the Congress in the United States, the Bundestag in Germany, the House of Parliament in the United Kingdom, and many other political bodies use. As MUN is spread all over the world, different types of MUN procedures have been developed for different conferences. The UN has created its own special procedure, called UN for MUN. Most conferences in North or South America use what is called UN-USA procedure. In Europe, many students use a procedure that was popularized by the Hague International Model United Nations, or THIMUN conference, and is therefore called THIMUN procedure. Although these videos will help anyone new to MUN, the type of procedure that these videos will best prepare you for is THIMUN procedure, which again is what many conferences in Europe use, like our own conference in Berlin. Now, with an understanding of what MUN is, let's turn our attention to why we do MUN. What makes it worthwhile? Among many things, here are 5 things that MUN programs offer their participants. Number 1, we increase our understanding of international relations and broaden our perspectives on political issues. This understanding is developed when students debate and compromise to find solutions to complex global issues. In a world of many differences, diplomacy must include understanding and the ability to cooperate to avoid future war. Number 2, as we ask questions, hold speeches, and lead discussions formally or informally, we become better negotiators and public speakers. These are very useful skills for our futures. Number 3, many MUN participants are able to travel to conferences in other cities and countries and get to experience different cultures and languages. Number 4, as we attend different conferences, we get the opportunity to meet others our age and build friendships. It is exciting to meet others who have similar interests and passion to make a difference in the world. Number 5, unlike many activities in schools which are adult-directed, MUN committees are led by students. Most MUN conferences are run by students, and many conferences were even inspired and started by students. Our BERMUN conference in Berlin, for example, was the initiative of former students who wanted to connect East and West Germany after the collapse of the Berlin Wall and communism in Eastern Europe. Years later, new students wanted to make the conference more international and connect East and West Europe, and eventually many other countries from around the world. Those students worked with teachers to create many of the exciting developments in the program, such as this video that you are now watching. When you are at MUN, you will find many inspiring leaders, debaters, and youth engaged with the world, leading and participating in the conferences. MUN allows motivated students to learn with other students from other schools. To recap, Model United Nations is a student simulation of the United Nations in which the participants cooperate on writing resolutions that address certain political topics. There are also different conferences with up to thousands of participants. These include different groups of students that debate different issues. MUN is similar to the UN in its basic structure, but the topics discussed and debate procedure may be different. Lastly, we do MUN not only to develop our political awareness, but also to strengthen our leadership and communication skills and build friendships with people from all around the world. Thanks for watching. Now that you know a few basics of what MUN is and why many do it, click here to see the next video on how to be a delegate.